See a lot of Rise plus Nefiri. For me, this kind of hits that same logic where we can provide the route, the CC, for the Nefiri to get into the fight.
So
can win the smite war.
Collapse angle here. It's going to probably be a 50-50 in terms of who can land that smite first, but it actually gets picked up by Nayo, even though 5T5 tried to drag it away in terms of getting that vision out. And here comes XQW. He lands the Rune Prison, and that's now Nayo picking up first blood.
That's a brutal start for LNG again. The early game going to be important for them. Important that 5T5 is
burning all those resources in the full HP bar out of Xiaoya, but instead he's also going to beat down a little bit. They're going to match it up by trying to go full into Dragon. However, you now see Xiaoya and YCX coming back from base down to the bottom side, so I don't think they want to contest this, but Nayo's just going to farm and take it out instead.
Honestly, it's kind of an oopsie coming out from LGD because they're sending their bot lane bot after Dragon was taken. All right, they end up getting out of this one okay, as they walked up the Nico, pressured out mid, and going to make sure they get at least 2, and looks to be all 3 of the grubs. I was a little bit concerned when I saw the bot lane walking bot, but LGD able to fix it by having YCX do a little bit of cross-country hiking across Summoner's Rift.
It'll be 6 grubs for LGD if they get all 3 of them here. So get the first one, and no contest here for 5T5, so gets this early game focus composition for LNG. LGD pick up all 6 grubs. You're going to have a ton of good of pushing power now.
Jihu. The last sequence grapes do nothing and end up not getting anything because of it. And I don't really know like what they want to do with their comp. I feel like it runs out of gas over time because this poke Varus is just not going to be valuable later on. You could have to fight these objectives or maybe find an angle which could be huge for something like a Scion.
Oh, here comes YCX. 2-man Pop Blossom. Go didn't even realize it was him. He's just going to go down so quickly as the first kill goes over to LGD. And with that being a 4v5, should almost certainly mean the Rift Herald goes over to the red side.
Yeah, look at the responses for LGD. They have 2 TPs and on. They use them to get a pick and get a positive play, right? So the 3-lane pressure and that side lane pressure pretty much pays off in forcing LNG to TP to catch waves. And I mean, they use their TPs instead to get a neutral objective and could potentially set up for the other one. So the TPs just get so much more value off of LNG, for me, really playing into the game that LGD wants them to play, which is play out these 3 lanes and make sure that their side lanes are strong, they scale up, and enter the fights big and at advantage because they have push.
Side lane, another part of this, with the Rise specifically, that we haven't really gotten a chance to talk about.
I love this response, too. Like, screw the Dragon. You just used like your entire play to impact the top side. So just continue to commit to the top side. What do? They take top outer for free with the Rise. They're going to take mid outer and get a double crash with this Herald because it's being taken while Dragon was focused by LNG. Oh, we're going and this might be a very creative one. Can we bend it like Beckham on the way?
No.
Okay, not quite. Not quite for Nayo. That's not going to be a second charge.
Got to retake your test next week.
Yeah. Still, it is at least
still get the tower. And now the question is, can LNG find a fight now on the back end of things? LGD try to escape.
Any and all proactivity they could have on the map, like for waves, which is just not worth. And now
just like walked out of the bush until we got spotted out. It's a depth charge onto Xiaoya, so with the Ragnarok already unavailable for Nayo, actually forcing the flash away. The response though will be the Pop Blossom from YCX. Public Institution though from Sasa is massive onto this backline, but he gets hooked up. He will get taken down, and that's the first reset picked up here for LNG. 5v5 in the Ambesta body, maybe looking for a little bit more, dashing forward. Find that Heartbreaker, but not going to connect onto a target. Now Xiaoya could be the next focus. Zika doesn't have the ultimate to try to close the gap, and so we'll just walk him back down underneath his turret. The eye's bigger than his stomach there on that play.
Still, at least with the 6 grubs, he's able to clean up this side lane on the exit. And again, LGD continue to keep this game stable.
Very hard to try to fight this in a 5v5. Dragon's already getting taken low. I think that's already going to just be secured by LGD. So another objective, kind of giving it over for free. The responses of mid-wave getting crashed in, but there's no opportunity to take this turret down. So LNG going to have to just back away, as I think the side laning for LGD helping them set up around these objectives and be able to get them that first one.
The thing I'm looking out for in the next fight, because I think that if LGD do get that scenario where OPLoLReplay gets to play the fight how he wants to, things go a lot better. As Zika has Flash,
Might get caught out here. Already has used the ultimate and the flash. Has both those engaged tools down. And I think this Sion's just a little bit dead. Sasa is the one to pick up that kill. Baron not available for another 37 seconds, so not going to be able to turn towards that one, but LGD find another time.
He doesn't care.
XQW, forward. He just face taking everything right now. Has to pop that arm guard already here. YCX looking for the engage. The proto belt not closing the gap enough. So that's a couple of big cooldowns already used, but now Xiao wants to go forward here. Dio flashing forward for the undertow as well. Here comes the fight in a 4v5, and it's pure evisceration for LGD, at least for now. The Arcane Storm, though, it will pick up a shutdown as LP and 5v5 looking potentially to find something, but no, Xiao flashes forward and secures the full ace.
That fight, just bad conditions for LNG. They're missing their big tank, and the re-engage from LGD, well, it didn't come from YCX. He got a couple big flashes out in the fight, specifically Zhuo and Haichao, that were followed up upon with the second re-engage from LGD, as Xiaoya really put the finishing stamp on that fight, and LGD looking to put the finishing stamp on this series. As this game 2 has been a bit slow, but again, a game that we feel like the pace has been in LGD's favor, and they're starting to cash that in here in the back half.
Yeah, slow pace was exactly what you were hoping for.
The same, and that goal lead, pretty big for LNG to overcome, Grapes, as this one looks to be cruising towards that 2-0.
Yeah, LGD looking a little bit more like the LGD that we were hoping to see going into Split 2. Of course, you could maybe attribute some of the lack of them being in group percent. I mean, of course, it is a one weekend affair to try and just play out this little bracket that was set up. So
yeah,
if you don't have your best day, and if somebody else does have their best day, like WE, I think kind of did, kind of just end up down here. But still opportunities for LGD to prove themselves. Remember, top 2 in your group Nirvana still get a chance to play into the postseason. So you have an opportunity to get a best of 5 against one of the potential top teams fighting for that spot. As right now, they're going to try to make quick work of LNG and prove that they don't belong here in this game.
Sasa
already going in. Does get hit up by the Death-Spinning Smash. Could be in trouble, as a reset coming through could be big, but they do have the Otacon resets. That means that none of those kills will be fully secured. Meanwhile, XQW just one-shots the Varus on the other side of things underneath the own tier 3 turret. It's a double kill picked up for Xiaoya, and now it's only 2 members alive, the solo laners here for LNG, trying to defend things alongside 5v5. Xiaoya going to continue to go forward. They still have the revives up, but they're not even going to need it at this point. Haichao goes down, and that should do it. It's another clean ace picked up for LGD in one of the most dominant games we've seen from them all season long. In under 28 minutes, in a 2-0, they will win the series over LNG.
And disappointment for LNG, who I thought played a pretty decent game 1, but really had nothing going for them in that game 2.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.